Well, it's official. Facebook has decided to go with censorship instead of doing the right thing and having a clear terms of service. Before we get to that, let's mention our sponsor. This one, again, is sponsored by our friends at Teachable. My material is at TheFreelanceTeacher.teachable.com for literacy help, literacy assistance, how to write well. That will then blend in and help you speak well. There's also exam prep on there. The ACT stuff is there as well. The SAT stuff is slow in coming, but it too is on its way. And that will then morph into literature and other things available. Some of the classes will be for free. Teachable, TheFreelanceTeacher.teachable.com is where you find that material. Today's topic is an unfortunate one. I'll be relatively quick with this, and I know I say that a lot, and then I get long-winded. I'm going to limit myself to no more than 10 minutes. There's been a YouTube crackdown. Yesterday or the day before, YouTube started banning videos. How do I know this? There was a Vox Day dark stream that where he mentioned that some of his videos have been either demonetized or removed from YouTube. Apparently, Owen Benjamin has had videos demonetized and or deplatformed as well. Removed from the platform, I should say. Apparently, Steven Crowder had his entire channel demonetized, and that's really saying a lot because Steven Crowder is one of these mainstream conservative guys who really doesn't pose a threat to anybody. He's just somewhat of a conservative, people have been saying what Crowder has been saying for years. And so this is an interesting one because YouTube has decided to go with what's wrong. They're on the wrong side of history. Now, the SJW progressive left is always keyed on saying to people like me, many of you as well, people who are pro-freedom, which means freedom of speech. You may not like guns, but you respect the Second Amendment. You understand that it is the people who commit crimes. It is a person who commits a crime, not necessarily the device. You don't go and ban cars if someone gets drunk and kills somebody. You don't ban alcohol, but I don't want to get off on the gun thing, but you understand, you can have a debate. You can debate the gun issue with somebody who says, well, yeah, I don't like guns, but let's see what we think and how we want to hash this out. People who say, wait a minute, you don't share my opinion, you should not be able to express yourself, are on the wrong side of history. Those are people who censor. Those are people who burn books. Those are people who say, no, you can't say what you want to say. I'm going to somehow force you to say what I want you to say, and if possible, brainwash you so you think what I want you to think. And it should be scary when I showed you many years ago on my old blog site, former Attorney General Eric Holder talking about how people who are pro-Second Amendment and or pro-gun need to be brainwashed. That is a direct quote. He said brainwashed. And Attorney General of the United States said people's brains need to be altered so that they have the quote-unquote correct views. YouTube, the multinational corporation, has gone with censoring people who are basically to the right of somebody like Hillary Clinton, or to the right of somebody like, let's put another establishment Democratic politician out there, somebody kind of bland. Let's say to the right of, I know New York, so let's say Andrew Cuomo. Generic, basic Democrat stuff. If you're to the right of those people, you, according to YouTube, are now not going to make money off of your videos and or you're going to be removed from the platform. Your voice will be stifled. Your livelihood will be stifled because you can't make money off of those things. In the good old days, people realized left and right and center and libertarian and anarchist, and you pick the label you want. They understood that censorship was bad, that a healthy society, having a group at the top of the pyramid, a very powerful group, usually but not always government, they understood that censorship was a great evil and it was to be avoided. And for basic reasons that a child could understand. If your group is in power and censors the people you don't like, that may make you feel good, but were it to ever go the other way, it would be done against you. And now what grounds do you have to complain? You don't have any grounds to complain because you were okay with the censorship in the first place. But I guess that kind of thought is lost. It's not that big of a logical leap to get to that thought process. But I guess things are so crazy in this dumbed down United States that even getting to that point is a stretch for most Americans, for most people. You don't see some of the usual suspects talking about how censorship is wrong. So in Vox Day's Darkstream, which I recommend, he has mentioned over the years on his blog site and in the video, he mentioned building your own platforms. Now, I don't have the capability to build my own platform, to create my own video service. I don't have that kind of pull. I don't have that kind of clout. I don't have that kind of money. I don't have the time it would take. There are a lot of things I don't have for that. But I do put my videos up here, and I put them on BitChute, BITCHUTE. Every video I put on YouTube for the last year plus or so, has gone on BitChute as well, where they get more views. Minds.com, I go there. Now, Vox Day did a pretty cool thing. He created with a group of people something called unauthorized.tv. So, build your own platform. He figured it out. He had the wherewithal, the strength, the dollars, the motivation, the capability to build his own platform. So he can do the dark streams, some of which have been removed. He can put them all on unauthorized.tv. And then if people further along the technology chain want to stifle and censor that, he mentioned in his latest video that they have things in place to handle that as well. But he doesn't have to worry about YouTube. And doesn't have to worry now ever about them being taken down. And that's pretty cool. So either build your own platform. Gab is kind of an alternative to Twitter to some degree. BitChute for alternative to YouTube. There are others as well, but those are the ones I can think of. Minds.com in space of Facebook. Facebook is a terrible thing. Facebook has become an awful place. And I guess power corrupts. But it's not only that. Let me give you this last little bit. Again, I'm here for you. I'm here to explain things to you. Some of these basic concepts that you don't get in school or taught to you by your elders. Not because they're terrible people, but they don't see things the way I do. And you're young and you have an active set of eyes and a more independent, quick mind than some of the older folks who have other worries. But one of the basic concepts I want you to think about, and this is in play when it comes to the YouTube stuff, is these people have two things. What I mentioned to you in the last video cast, which is they want to control you. They want to control what you say, and they want to control what you think, and they want to control your habits. Yeah, they want to control your habits too. They think having a gigantic SUV is wrong. Therefore, they want to make it so that you can't have one. Basically is how it goes. They think it's wrong, so they don't want you to have those habits. They don't want you to do that. The other thing is, right, so we talked about the power thing last time. They want you to do that in terms of thoughts, speech, and now habits. But here's the other thing, another overarching principle that you must know. Their worldview, the social justice warrior, progressive, in America here we would call it the liberal worldview. And I mean like the democratic liberal voter, the hardcore ones. There are thoughtful ones. They're few and far between, but today you're a garden variety democratic liberal person, social justice warrior, progressive. They have a worldview. and they think it is right, and they think it is just, and they think it is acceptable. They then want to force us, they want to force everyone else to fit into their worldview. That's how they operate. The communists, the socialists, the social justice warriors, they feel that the world should be a certain way, and it isn't. The world is not and is never going to be a communist utopia or a socialist utopia or the world and race equity or whatever it is they're talking about on campus these days of your social justice warrior. It's just not going to be that. It can't. So they want to force it so it can. And that's really the difference. The people who want freedom say, let's have a free people and work it out for the best with its trade-offs. And the controllers, like those at YouTube, want only their worldview, and they want everyone and to force everyone into that worldview. That's the difference. And you see it with YouTube. People don't have their worldview. They're the social justice warrior worldview. So they're going to force it to happen. And how are they going to do it? They're going to censor. So you manage your affairs as best as you can. There are alternatives. Look them up. I've given you 2, maybe 3. Vox Day and what he's done is worth a look as well. That's the world you're in. I don't like it any more than you do, but you adjust in the way that I have, and you go forth, teach, understand, speak, convince, and let people know that you get it and that you will be a free person and you are not going to be stifled or stopped. Freedom is what matters, not forcing people to live the way that you or anybody else thinks you should. I'll talk to you next time. I know 12 minutes, but I'm pretty close. You got to give me some credit. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for watching. I'll see you and talk with you next time.